Why do we tend to overeat? Let me tell you, less than 1% of people can genuinely say they don't overeat. Eating is fun, it's delicious, but humans, we love to eat. It's a pleasure that releases dopamine and beta endorphins. So, if you feel like you're doomed to gain weight, I've got good news for you. Overeating can be prevented. How, you ask? First, let's recognize the situations where we tend to overeat. It's often the same scenarios, isn't it? For instance, you're at a dinner party and there's alcohol involved. Once the drinks start flowing, so does the food. And before you know it, you've eaten way too much. Or you're on a diet, feeling stressed, and suddenly you snap and think, to heck with this, and binge eat, ending up heavier than when you started. It's like dieting makes you gain weight. What a twisted irony. Humans don't have infinite overeating patterns. We fall into a few common traps. If we understand these traps and learn how to avoid them, we can prevent overeating. I'm not saying you should quit alcohol, skip meals, or stop sleeping. No drastic measures here. Here are 3 simple rules. Don't buy, don't pile up, and don't finish. Surprised? Let me explain. First, if you don't buy food, you won't eat it. Many of us overbuy at the grocery store or order too much pizza. You know how it is. Ordering food is exciting. Maybe I need more, you think, and end up with a fridge full of leftovers. So don't overbuy. And avoid buying weird stuff like cotton candy grapes. Stick to what you need. Second, don't pile up food. At parties, why do you feel the need to pile our plates high? Look at me, with my mountain of pizza, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, and chicken. Oh, and don't forget the cake. You feel obligated to eat everything. And that's how you end up stuffed and regretful. Third, don't finish everything on your plate. Why do you think you need to eat it all? It's not like food disappears if you don't. Save some for later, or just don't force it. Overbuying, overeating, and overfinishing. These are common pitfalls. Avoid these, and you'll dodge the worst outcomes. Remember, don't buy, don't pile up, and don't finish. So folks, now that we've covered the basics, I'll list some common overeating scenarios. If you find yourself nodding along, raise your hand. Recognizing these patterns in yourself is crucial. Know that these traps are powerful and arm yourself with strategies to avoid them. Let's beat overeating together. All right, let's dive into the first common pattern of overeating. The fast eater. If you finish your meal within 20 minutes, you're a fast eater. We're not talking about gobbling down your food in 2-3 minutes. But if your plate is clean within 20 minutes, that's still too fast. Hands up. If you usually finish eating within 20 minutes, you might be overeating. Here's the science. It takes about 20 minutes for your brain to realize you're full. So if you finish in 5 minutes, you've got 15 minutes of thinking you're still hungry, even though you're not. So, when you finish eating, wait at least 15 minutes before ordering more. To stretch your meal to 20 minutes, chew each bite thoroughly. Set a simple rule. Chew until the food turns into paste. That's right, until it's paste-like in your mouth. When you do this, the fullness signals reach your brain, and you're less likely to overeat. Put down your spoon or fork between bites. Chew, paste, swallow. This simple method can seriously help you lose weight and prevent overeating. Putting down your fork isn't a big deal. I mean, you pay $30 a month for a gym you never go to and buy yoga mats online only to quit immediately. All you really need is paste. So next time you eat, remember, chew until paste, put down the utensils, and enjoy your meal at a leisurely pace. It's a small change that can make a big difference. Another common eating habit is the snacker. Are you a snacker? Do you carry chocolate or gum in your bag because you think you need a sugar fix? Do you find yourself opening the fridge at home just to grab a little something because you feel a bit peckish? This mouth boredom is a huge culprit in overeating. The thing is, feeling full and thinking you're full are 2 different things. Feeling hungry and thinking you're hungry are also different. Often, you trick yourselves into thinking you're hungry. So how do you combat this illusion? By breaking the routine. Do you have a specific time when you always snack? Change your routine at that time. Distract yourself by doing a bit of stretching, opening the window and looking outside, chatting with someone, or listening to music. These distractions can help you forget about snacking for just 5 minutes, and that's often enough to overcome the urge. Fast eating, snacking, and overeating. These are very common. Some of you might even do all three. The result? You end up overeating. So, what is overeating, really? It's consuming more calories than your body needs in a day. It doesn't matter if it's all in one meal or spread out. If you exceed your daily caloric needs, that's overeating. The best health tip? Don't overeat. To sum it up, avoid fast eating by chewing until paste, distract yourself to avoid unnecessary snacking, and always be mindful of your overall calorie intake. Remember, we've all got our eating quirks, but with a little effort and some clever tricks, we can all eat healthier. All right, let's move on to some other common pitfalls beyond just how we eat. First up is the guilt eater, the courage to say no with a smile. This ties into the theory that nice people tend to gain weight because they feel guilty. The first pattern here is the guilt of leaving food. I get it. You don't want to waste food. So, when you cook at home, use smaller plates and serve smaller portions. When dining out, order less. Why do you have to eat the entire value meal? Just because you ordered the burger, fries, and drink doesn't mean you have to finish them all at once. Try ordering just the burger. If you're still hungry afterward, you can always get the fries. They'll come quickly. And why order ice cream with your pizza at Costco? Just stick to the pizza. It's about serving smaller portions and ordering less. The second common pitfall beyond eating habits is the freedom eater. This one is tricky. It usually kicks in when you're drinking or traveling. Let me say it again, it's not your fault. Overeating in these situations is just a common human pitfall. For example, when you're about to have your second drink, try switching to a smaller glass. This helps you stay in control. I'm not saying you should quit drinking altogether, just try a small beer instead. And while you're still thinking clearly, order more veggies. It's a sneaky way to handle the situation. Next, let's talk about traveling. It's so easy to overeat on vacation, right? The trick here is to eat only foods you can't get at home. This way, you can still enjoy your trip without overloading on calories. Can you eat that mac and cheese near your house? Skip it and go for something unique to your destination. Adopting the only eat rare things habit can make a huge difference. This sense of freedom isn't limited to traveling. It happens at fast food joints too. Be mindful when you pull into the McDonald's drive-thru that free nuggets with a coupon is not a good deal for your waistline. Decide what you're going to buy beforehand and stick to it. Don't let those enticing offers sway you. Breaking free from this cycle is possible. With these strategies, there's nothing to fear. But it's not just about that sense of freedom. Humans deal with stress too. The third common pitfall is the stress eater. You know how it goes. You're on a diet, but the stress gets to you, and suddenly you're binging. What's up with that? It's the feeling of, I'm not good enough, that leads to this. Ever find yourself awake at night thinking, I'm such a failure? First of all, stop beating yourself up. Seriously, cut yourself some slack. Recognize any small effort you make, and give yourself major props for it. Are you constantly thinking, I'm no good? Flip that around and start praising yourself. Also, remember why you wanted to eat less or lose weight in the first place. Focus on your goals. Instead of focusing on restrictions, think about positive alternatives. For example, rather than saying, no McDonald's, say, I'm going to the movies instead. This way, you're focusing on the fun activity rather than what you're missing. Think positively about what you can do and celebrate yourself for it. So, that's the idea. Have you fallen into any of these common pitfalls? Remember, there's no need for harsh judgments. Let's take a kind approach. Praise yourself and others, and I'm sure you'll manage to avoid overeating. Surprised by this summary? I hope it helps. Many YouTubers offer strict advice, but let's keep this friendly and encouraging. Keep praising yourself, and you'll find it easier to stick to your goals without overeating.